Every day, people are controlled without even noticing it. A single comment ruins their mood. A moment of silence from someone important makes them doubt themselves. A promise broken turns into days of anger or despair. That invisible control is the reason most remain weak, predictable, and easy to use. The harsh truth is this: emotions are the easiest chains to pull. Anger makes you reckless. Desire makes you blind. Fear makes you obedient. Those who understand this will always have power over those who don't. Machiavelli exposed this centuries ago. He showed that real strength is not measured by wealth, status, or influence. It begins with the ability to rule over yourself. The one who cannot command their own mind will always be commanded by someone else. The goal is not to kill emotion, but to master it. To build an inner fortress so strong that no insult, no rejection, and no betrayal can break through it. Ahead lie 8 Machiavellian lessons that reveal how to stop reacting, how to think with clarity instead of impulse, and how to carry yourself with such control that no one can pull your strings again. Let's begin. Lesson 1: Destroy emotional vulnerability. The greatest source of suffering in life is not the lack of money, status, or opportunity. It is the inability to govern emotions. People get offended too quickly, they sink into sadness too easily, and they flare up in anger too fast. Each time this happens, a piece of their power slips away and lands in someone else's hands. Consider what truly takes place. When a person insults you and you explode in rage, who holds the reins of control? Not you. It is the other who has pulled your strings as if you were a puppet. When someone ignores you and that silence makes you feel worthless for days, who dominates? Again, not you. They do. This weakness is what can be called emotional vulnerability, the dangerous state of letting others own your feelings. And the cruel truth is this: people will exploit it. They will test your patience, they will push your limits, and they will prod until you crack. The moment you react, they win. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He wrote, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." But how can anyone hope to command others if they cannot command themselves? The very first step toward freedom is learning to master reactions. This means training the mind and the body to pause before responding. When someone disrespects you, resist the temptation to erupt. Do not hand them the satisfaction of seeing you lose control. When life presents a harsh challenge, do not collapse in complaints. Stand firm. Firm. This does not mean destroying emotions, because emotions are part of being human. The key is ruling them rather than being ruled by them. Think of emotions like fire. When mastered, fire can warm the home, cook food, and give light. When unleashed without control, it has the power to burn everything to the ground. The training begins small. The next time someone utters something irritating, resist the instant reaction. Breathe. Hold silence. Let them wonder what goes on inside your mind. That uncertainty becomes a weapon. The calmer you remain, the stronger you appear. And here lies the hidden truth: the world respects control. Leaders are trusted when they remain composed in chaos. The one who cannot be shaken emotionally, that person becomes untouchable. Lesson 2: Think like Machiavelli, strategy over emotion. Most people spend their lives reacting. Someone offends them, they burn with anger. Someone praises them, they rise with pride. Someone ignores them, they shrink into insecurity. This endless cycle of emotional highs and lows keeps them weak, predictable, and ripe for manipulation. Here is the reality: anyone who wishes to win in life cannot remain a mere reactor. A reactor is always at the mercy of external forces. A strategist, however, stands apart. A strategist does not move on impulse, but on calculation. This was the way Machiavelli thought. He once wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." In other words, the wise man sees reality clearly, anticipates the game, and acts with precision, while the fool, blinded by emotions, wastes precious time reacting, complaining, or chasing fleeting feelings. Reflect on your own life. How many poor choices have been made because anger, jealousy, or desperation was in control? Perhaps an angry message was sent and later regretted. Perhaps discouragement led to quitting too early. Perhaps misplaced trust was given because of temporary good feelings, only to be betrayed afterward. This is the cost of living by emotion. But the one who thinks like Machiavelli replaces the question, "How do I feel right now?" with a far sharper one, "What is the smartest move here?" Take an example. If someone insults you publicly and you erupt in anger, you appear childish and weak. But if you remain calm or even laugh it off, you gain victory without lifting a finger. Why? Because the power of control stayed with you, and everyone can see it. That is strategy triumphing over emotion. Another example lies in relationships. Emotions blind many people. They ignore red flags simply because the feelings are pleasant. But a strategist does not stop at words or emotions. A strategist examines motives, discerns patterns, and studies actions. For what people say is one thing, but what they consistently do reveals the truth. To live as a strategist requires mental training. Whenever strong emotion rises, pause. Ask, if I react now, who benefits? If I remain calm and think, what advantage becomes mine? That single pause is often the dividing line between being manipulated and being the one who manipulates. This way of thinking does not strip away the heart, it strengthens the mind. It does not turn a person into something cold, it turns them into something powerful. While others drown in waves of emotion, the strategist sees the larger map, thinks 3 steps ahead, and remains calm, sharp, and untouchable. Lesson 3. Build mental autonomy, detach from external validation. One of the most common traps in life is dependence on approval. Many don't even notice it. A post online can dictate mood through likes and comments. A new outfit feels valuable only if praised. Decisions are made with the silent question, "What will people think of me?" This is not freedom, it is slavery. If self-worth depends on someone else's words, the keys to the mind have already been surrendered. Machiavelli observed, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand." Appearances, not substance, shape judgment. Anyone who builds identity on shifting opinion ends up chasing shadows. Public opinion changes constantly. Today admired, tomorrow despised. A self-image tied to that instability is always controlled from outside. The solution is autonomy, self-rule. Value must come from within, not from applause. To build it, notice when approval is craved. Ask, if no one applauded, would this still make me proud? If the answer is no, the action was for the audience, not the self. Next, replace external praise with internal affirmation. Tell yourself directly, "I did well. I am proud of this." Finally, remember that most people are too absorbed in their own lives to dwell on yours. Why hand them power they aren't even consciously using? Detachment makes a person solid, free, and unshakable. Praise cannot control, and criticism cannot crush. Standing firm in independence is what turns stability into power. Lesson 4. Eliminate personal weaknesses that give away power. Power often slips away not through great errors but through small, careless habits, over-explaining, oversharing, showing emotions in the wrong place. Each of these gives others a piece of control. Consider over-explaining. When questioned, the insecure repeat themselves endlessly, signaling guilt or desperation. Strength lies in stating a point calmly once, then moving on. Oversharing is no less dangerous. Revealing secrets, fears, and private struggles arms others with tools for manipulation or disrespect. Machiavelli noted, "It is double pleasure to deceive the deceiver." People exploit weakness, especially when it is freely handed to them. Most do not deserve full access to private thoughts or feelings. Only the deeply trusted should be allowed in. For everyone else, reveal only what strengthens your position. Protect the inner world as if it were a fortress. Weakness is eliminated by 3 disciplines: speak less so words carry weight, control emotional leaks by processing feelings privately, and set strict boundaries by asking before speaking, does this strengthen me, or expose me? If it exposes, hold it back. Mastery of these habits creates mystery and control. Others cannot read easily, predict actions, or twist emotions. Words can no longer be used as weapons. What remains is a presence that is untouchable. Lesson 5. Use silence and calm as weapons. Silence is not weakness. Calm is not a lack of power. In truth, silence and calm stand among the most effective weapons anyone can possess. Most people fail to recognize this because they are addicted to reaction. They feel compelled to answer every insult, defend against every attack, and fill every pause with words. Yet the truth remains, the one who governs silence controls the entire room. Consider the moments when provocation arises, raised voices, sharp insults, or attempts to drag another into conflict. Anger and outbursts only deliver energy to the aggressor. But when composure is maintained, when eyes remain steady and lips remain closed, the balance of power shifts instantly. Expecting a fight, the opponent is met with nothing. That absence unsettles them, and discomfort weakens them further. Machiavelli understood this balance with precision. He observed, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." The lesson is clear: true strength is not always found in roaring like the lion, but in waiting, watching, and striking with the timing of the fox. Silence is strategy. Calm is control. Silence serves 3 functions. It protects, concealing emotions and intentions from easy discovery. It confuses, denying the reactions that others expect and rely upon. And it commands respect, because composure under pressure projects greater strength than panic ever could. Mastery of silence ensures hesitation from those who might otherwise test boundaries. Mastery of calm signals to the world that no storm can break inner stability. In a noisy world, the voice that withholds words becomes the strongest of all. Yet silence is not the same as passivity. It is deliberate choice. It means listening intently, reading situations carefully, and waiting until words or actions can deliver maximum impact. That is the essence of real control. When conflict arises, silence should be remembered as a shield, not a void. Calm should be regarded as a fortress, not an emptiness. The individual who remains composed while others lose control always secures victory in the end. Lesson 6. See people's true nature, not their masks. Most people display a mask rather than their real face. They offer sweet words, smiles when a favor is needed, and loyalty as long as it serves their interests. Behind every smile lies intention. Behind many promises lies a hidden plan. Those who wish to remain untouchable must learn to judge not by what is spoken, but by what is done. Machiavelli summarized this truth: everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. People excel at appearance. They craft images designed to impress, to manipulate, or to control. The wise refuse to be deceived by surfaces. Attention must be paid to patterns, behaviors, and choices. Words fade, but consistent actions reveal reality. Examples are everywhere. A friend may proclaim, "I will always be there," yet vanish when needed most. A colleague may praise publicly, while quietly seeking credit in private. The truth of character lies not in declarations but in conduct. Observation is the key. Trust should never be granted because the right phrase was spoken. Time, behavior toward others, and actions when personal benefit is absent, these are the true measures. Masks surround every sphere of life. On social media, countless perfect lives are paraded while real struggles remain concealed. In workplaces, false smiles, hollow compliments, and shallow respect are constant. Even within personal relationships, masks appear when the goal is control, attention, or advantage. Only those who train themselves to look beneath the surface remain immune to deception. The advantage of recognizing true nature is freedom. False love cannot ensnare. Betrayal cannot shock. Illusions lose their grip. Reality, however dark, is safer than dwelling in lies. The path is straightforward: listen less, observe more, focus on patterns, not promises, and remember that consistency is the ultimate revelation of character. Lesson 7: Beware of trust and emotional dependency. Trust is celebrated as a virtue, yet in the wrong hands it becomes a weapon. Words like "just trust me" often serve as tools to disarm and lower defenses. Blind trust hands another person the keys to emotions, secrets, and even the future. Machiavelli captured this reality. The promise given was a necessity of the past, the word broken is a necessity of the present. People shift as their interests shift, and loyalty dissolves the moment benefit disappears. The danger is not only misplaced trust but emotional dependency itself. Reliance on others for happiness, validation, or direction places life under their control. A compliment can lift, but silence can destroy. Dependency turns a person into a puppet, strings pulled without awareness. In the arena of power, dependency is weakness. Dependence makes the one relied upon a master. If detachment is impossible, control is already lost. This explains the sting of betrayal. The pain lies less in the act and more in the authority unknowingly surrendered. The wiser path is balance. Connections may be built, but identity and stability must never rest in another's hands. Caring is possible, but attachment must stop short of surrender. A part of the self must always remain untouchable. The discipline is clear. Do not overshare, privacy protects. Observe how others handle small responsibilities before entrusting them with greater ones. Above all, build a personal foundation, self-respect, discipline, and goals strong enough to prevent reliance on others for stability. Trust should never be blind. It is a calculated risk, tested continually, and never granted without limits. Lesson 8: Master yourself to master your world. Every enduring empire began with control not of others, but of the self. Without mastery of mind, emotions, and habits, even the freest person remains a prisoner, shackled by inner chaos. Machiavelli noted, "The one who adapts his policy to the times prospers." Adaptability, discipline, and self-command separate the powerful from the powerless. The strongest are not those who shout loudest or appear toughest. Strength belongs to those who maintain clarity in storms, who adapt when conditions shift, who stay composed under attack. Life will always test, insults, setbacks, disappointments will come. The weak collapse. The disciplined endure, outlast, and rise. Self-mastery rests on 3 pillars. First, control of emotion. Anger, jealousy, or fear must never dictate action. Restraint turns provocation into an opportunity for dominance. Second, discipline habits. Power is not seized in a moment, it is built brick by brick, through small daily acts, finishing what is started, training the body, sharpening the mind. Weak men are ruled by impulses, strong men rule their impulses. Third, independence. Happiness cannot depend on approval, praise, or external reward. The self must generate value from within, untouchable and unshakable. Without self-control, others will always assume control, a superior, a lover, a rival, even a stranger. Weakness is sensed and exploited. With self-mastery, the order is reversed. Respect follows because control cannot be broken. Admiration follows because strength does not bend. Imagine the self as a kingdom, thoughts as citizens, emotions as soldiers, habits as laws. A kingdom in chaos cannot extend power outward, a kingdom in order cannot be shaken from within. True power doesn't shout. It doesn't beg for recognition. It's the quiet force that holds steady when everything around is shaking. The one who governs emotions cannot be broken by insults, betrayal, or rejection. The one who disciplines the mind walks through storms untouchable. Life will test with manipulation, loss, and provocation. Most surrender their strength in those moments. But those who master themselves turn every trial into a weapon, every challenge into proof of control. They don't follow power, they embody it. Now is the time to claim that presence. Guard your emotions. Sharpen your mind. Build the fortress within, because nothing outside can shake a throne built on discipline. And if this is only the beginning for you, continue deeper with the playlist Machiavelli on Power as Design, where every lesson takes you further into the heart of strategy and strength.